around the manosphere, and I guess you could say mainly like the dating type of content on YouTube and that's out there on the internet, there's been this back and forth with this idea of the prize or being a prize and blah, blah, blah. So my question is, when it comes to dating, who is the prize? So I guess real quick, so we always start with John, start with Doc. So Doc, who's the prize?
I think it kind of depends on what your goal is when you're dating. I think a lot of people don't. Well, okay, well, I think ignorant people don't consider what they want when they're dating. Like if they're looking for sex, admit it, and then you'll find sex and stuff like that, and you'll cause less heartache to people that aren't looking for sex and get involved with you. Um, and if you're looking to like be in a relationship, then admit that, or you're looking to get married, admit that. Um, because then that should be your prize. I think if you're thinking of it selfishly, you're already on the wrong path. If you're all about like yourself, or I should make the woman, like I should fight the woman in this social contest so that I am seen as the prize. It's just like, dude, that's no way to go about that. Like, even if she's hot, I I think if you enter that, like you're already betting on either if you win, like what did you win? That's kind of lame if you want it, I think. And if you lose, then you're just a fucking simp. It's just like, so I don't think you should see it that way. And I think the contest of the manosphere contesting that and arguing that is
Cringe.
ill-advised, or what's the word I'm looking for? Blinded. Yeah.
I agree with that. What do you got, John?
So the question is, what? Who's more valuable, or what was it?
I don't know.
How'd
You can
word
see it that way. I guess just the prize. Like when it comes to dating, so I guess to get more context. So you see whenever on some of those, what do you call them? When they go out to the street and they do some interviews, be it guys or girls, but specifically when they question girls on the street, they ask them like, "What do you bring to the table?" or "Who's the prize in dating?" or something like those questions. Girls always say, "I'm the prize, I'm the table," or something along those lines. And then an example would be Fresh and Fit on their podcast when they talk about men trying to be men and getting in relationships. So and their argument is men are the real prize in dating because of high value men, this and that, when it comes to money, protecting, and all that kind of stuff. So my question then, to simplify it, is who is the prize? Is it men? Is it women? Or as Doc says, there was that whole viewpoint. Or was it specifically selfish, Doc?
Yeah, I think the prize is a healthy
Yeah, I think it's
relationship.
selfish.
I think the prize is a healthy relationship. I don't think the prize is any of the individuals. I think the prize is being able to work with somebody to coexist. That's the prize. That's the goal. So like as far as somebody saying, "Oh, I bring this to the table, I bring this to the table," but does it fit with somebody else? Is the question. So like the whole question doesn't even matter if the relationship does not work. There's no relationship for you to be the prize in. You know what I'm saying? You can be the prize by yourself, I guess. That's cool. But in the context of the question,
Cool.
in the context of the question, the prize would be
Healthy,
the
successful
cohabitation.
relationship.
Yeah, healthy and successful relationship. I mean, I'm not even going to elaborate. That's pretty much all I got. Like, I don't
You would
wanna
hope
say the same thing
self-explanatory.
over. Yeah, I don't want to say the same thing over and in a different way or sound repetitive, but to me, it's simple.
Yeah, Ian's free spirit said it's hard to hear. I don't know if our volume's kind of low or not. Yeah, my take on it is I think it to be a little less eloquent as y'all's. I think it's dumb. Every
Mhm.
time I hear someone, a guy or a girl, say they're the prize when it comes to dating,
It's dumb.
I think
Yeah,
it's dumb.
I agree.
Like, it's to elaborate more. It's simple-minded thinking. Like I completely agree with what you said. You aren't, when it comes to building a relationship, looking for a relationship, if that is the goal, as Doc said, if that is the goal, you aren't the prize and they're not the prize. The prize is coming together and then successfully establishing a healthy relationship
Yeah,
with each
that's the
other
goal.
that grows into maybe potentially marriage. That is success. When it
Mhm.
comes to dating with the opposite sex, that is successful. We look up, I would say, we look up to those type of relationships. That's why on TikTok, relationship TikToks are so popular, because they have shown we are prizes. We are a prize. The fact that we were able to come together and form this
Union.
financial beneficial union that y'all love to follow,
Mhm.
we are successful. We are a prize. Then same thing with marriages. For example, Beyonce and Jay-Z, if that's even a good example. Even though they have their ups and downs and blah blah blah, they're still together, and they would arguably are a prize, both of them.
Yeah,
You
no, I
can't.
agree.
I think you can't be a prize by yourself. Even if you call
I
yourself a
agree.
prize by yourself, like
Yeah,
I
that's
think that
wild.
says a lot about you.
That's wild. So my boy, basically what Gene just admitted is he asked us a trick question and both of us got it right.
I wasn't trying to do a quick trick question. I know you guys, so I knew where you guys were gonna stand on this.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
What would
I'm
you have
like,
said if I was like me?
yeah,
We would have had a
I'm
funny
prize.
conversation then.
Just me.
Because I'd have had some questions then about why do you feel that way? What makes you specifically a prize? Why isn't the
'Cause
girl
I'm
the
shit,
prize?
bro. Why wouldn't I be the prize? That's not complicated, man.
Okay, well then let's hold on. Let's dive that into this. Let's I guess analyze real quick before we move on the girl mentality of being the prize. So why do you think? And it's kind of hard for us, I guess, to analyze this without having a girl.
female.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a half-assed analysis. But why do you think girls view themselves as the prize in relationships? Is it specifically just because they bring about their looks and the potential for offspring because of their womb?
I don't know, man. If you
I-
want to get that,
I-
that's what I'm looking for. Primitive.
Well, I'm asking questions. I just gave a very simple, obvious
Well,
observation.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you hypothetically want to put it in that situation to like that level of, you want to adjust the scope to go to that level of primitivity. It's like technically, I guess the beautiful woman can say she's the prize, and the rich guy can say they're the prize. You know, if the resources versus the beauty is like the base level of the monkey brain, then like yeah, I guess, and then like at the monkey brain level, they have some kind of an argument, but I think once you get past that or mature past that, it doesn't really matter.
His
Yes,
audio's out, Ian. I'll keep going just in case it's not.
Okay. Hello, Ethan. We good? We good?
Okay, we're
Okay.
good.
So what was I saying? You know, niggas be
Reassurance.
goddamn- Yeah. Reassurance. I think it's a level of reassurance because when somebody says they're a prize, even though they're saying it with confidence, it's almost like an open-ended question. Open-ended question. So it's like okay, from Russia.
Okay, Ethan said go
Okay.
back.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a little
so I
bit of a
feel-
delay, so yeah. But we're
Okay,
back.
So I feel like it's an open-ended question. I don't feel like it's ever something that's like it's like okay, so if I'm in a relationship with somebody who says they're the prize, right? Chances are if I'm in a relationship with them, I'm doing some type of coddling towards that feeling of them being the prize. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's that reassurance that I feel like looking for when they're saying that type of stuff. Because if you say that type of stuff, I mean, I just feel like you could show that type of stuff. So I feel like everybody has their own different values, obviously, that they bring to a relationship. But I feel like if you make it competitive in nature in that way, and what you're bringing to a relationship,
Interesting. Okay.
it's
So you think it's a competitive thing?
it's a competitive thing, but it's based out of an insecurity. And I'm not attributing that to women or men. I'm attributing
you
it to
do think-
anybody
but-
that feels that way. Like I'm the prize. Even men who says
It's a
I got
competitive
money.
insecurity.
Yeah, and then you're
Interesting.
trading something off too because as a man, let's say you're like he said, the fucking chimpanzee brain male who just I'm rich. I deserve to. You have to shut up and not have an opinion and do as I say because I'm rich, right? That super extreme or whatever. He's trading the actual experiences of a relationship for that to coddle that insecurity. You know what I'm saying? So whereas he'd have to deal with a specific type of woman or be with a specific type of woman, and he's actually not open to a real opportunity of dating, like a real relationship. So are people out here just want
As Doc said before, sex. Like most people I heard.
yeah, but
specifically
it's not just
Okay,
that.
question.
But they
So
want the situation. They want the appearance and everything of a relationship, but they want to control the confines of the relationship to coddle their insecurity. So when
I
people
get what
like,
you're saying.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I want the aesthetics of a relationship. I want somebody to be with and all
but that
that
gives the
stuff.
credence to what we talked when we the first started this conversation that we think the prize is the relationship. There is some level of subconscious recognition that the relationship itself, the successful, healthy relationship, is the prize. But even though we unconsciously accept that, that's not what we actually outwardly want. For, I would say, generally speaking, on the men's side, what we want is consistent sex. All right, this podcast is sponsored by Angel Blinds. Shout out Angel Blinds. It's a local business based in Atlanta, Georgia. Check them out. Their blinds help you get a new look for your living room, to your bedroom, to your dining room. They even customize kids' blinds with their favorite superhero or princess. Make sure you get Iron Man. He's the best. Shout out. With our promo code FDT, our audience gets 10% off their first purchase. You can find them on Facebook at Angels Blinds or their Instagram at Angels_Blinds. Shout out Angels Blinds. So
Well, I
therefore
would say it to your point,
What-
it's
at
like
what
the
age?
ego. It's like
an
the
ego.
ego with it's like the ego coupled with supremacy of sex. Does that make any sense? Like I want the ego validation of me constantly being valued by the opposite sex,
Shout out
and I also
Feaster.
want to be supreme in the situation.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. But that's what I'm saying. Like that competitiveness to me is just it adds a toxicity to like there's friendly competition in a relationship or whatever, but like that type of thing. Like for me personally, I just want to be happy with the person that I'm with forever. Like that's it. Like just no stress. Be my peace. I'll be your peace, and I'll try whatever. Like problem solving, iron sharpening iron. Like my boy said in the
Struggled to stay in the intro.
in the intro. Just different things. Like I know it's not gonna always be smooth, so you actually have to tell yourself in times of stress or in times of like when you're looking at the relationship, like damn, is it worth it? Like does the person want you to grow? And if so, like, are they somehow facilitating your growth? Are they invested in you, like, emotionally? Fuck all the other shit. But, like, emotionally, like, yeah, if those things are present, then you should be able to talk and communicate the other things. And, like I said, the prize is peace, bro. Like,
I think that might reveal a little bit. Like I'm gonna piggyback off what Ethan said because I agree with this. And I actually was gonna say something similar to that too. But if someone goes into a relationship claiming to be a prize, doesn't that speak to their psychological self-worth because they need to have that outside validation to gauge their value? And I agree with that because what I was gonna say is you said what you want from a relationship, long term or whatever, is happiness with this person till the day you die or whatever. I'll ask Doc next. But for me, what I want is someone willing to work with me, to tough it out, like through the literally as the marriage vows goes, through better or for worse, sick or healthy. Like I just want you to be there with me. I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to jump ship. Like just be there. That's
Same.
I don't care if we're
Same.
happy.
I
I don't
get
care
what
if we're
you're saying.
unhappy. I just need you there.
forever.
Yeah,
Forever.
exactly.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Doc, before I go along with what I was saying, like what about you? When you think of a relationship being a relationship, like what do you want? Happiness, like as Don said, or me just you there?
I actually don't know what I want, man. I fight with this idea a lot.
Okay,
But
that actually helps me out a
yeah.
little bit then. And I'm not trying to make this a dig at you, but I think people who don't really think about that deeply, like when it comes to a relationship, like what do I actually, if I'm going to put myself into this lion's den that is relationship hunting or dating and blah, blah, probably to say hunting is probably bad way to word it, but the dating world, what do I want from a relationship? And I think it, like kind of what Ethan says, if you don't think too much in it, the fact that you view yourself as a prize going into it reveals something about yourself. Like it's revealing, like you don't really value relationships, or there's something going on here where you have, like Ethan said, a self-worth thing.
I completely agree. So I see it like or getting into a relationship, forget your age or whatever. Whenever you first get into relationships or whatever, I see this like almost like a dark room or a dark cave. You're in a dark space, right? But there are certain little pockets of like, let's just say heat. You know what I'm saying? Those little pockets of heat represent qualities that you may like or may not like. They're different temperatures. And as you're dating, you're feeling your way through this dark tunnel, and then you may see some attributes while you're dating somebody that you don't like. Then you know, okay, I don't like that. That's not something I can do. That's not something I can tolerate. But then you see other qualities that are just your temperature. You're like, okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. And eventually you end up building what you would like and what you can put up with, what you can't, and you can scale everything. So I just feel like, it just takes time. It does take failed relationships sometimes. Sometimes it takes perseverance. You know what I'm saying? But
I think perseverance is the big one right there.
Yeah, but that's also like you have to be careful with that too, because then it's like we all would have just been with the person we first dated.
I don't think anything's wrong with that, but facts.
Yeah,
like high school sweethearts. Like I think personally, that's kind of awesome.
That's the first person you dated, though.
But that's awesome, though. Not a lot of people can do that, and that in itself is hard. My wife is my sounding board, my ear when I need, calls me out my BS when I'm out of pocket, but allows me to be me. I'm confident in who I am, and so is she, so we don't have a toxic codependency. That's dope. And another thing, too, is just every relationship's different. People who have a codependency are not, like, they're independent but still with each other. Like, whatever works for you. Like, that's one thing that I personally, I guess, go on a side rant to the initial topic, that I find kind of, I guess, annoying or frustrating is we're trying to make relationships, what would be the word, uniform? Like, we're trying to make cookie cutter relationships. Exactly. But relationships aren't cookie cutter. We are so different. Everybody. Every guy is different. Every girl is different. There may be some generalities and some consistencies, but when it comes down to it, we are so different that when we talk about relationships in this cookie cutter manner, it's just hard for me personally to really take seriously, if that makes sense.
No, I get you. And look, no matter what, man, when you put a camera in front of anybody, I don't care what percentage of it is, there's some acting going on. So, like, the second you decide to put relationships on camera, I always find it interesting, except if you can, and they say with reality shows, you eventually forget, you know what I'm saying? You eventually forget the cameras are around. But I don't know. For me, all those, like, little TikTok things, it just ends up being more business-like to me than anything actual. Unless, like, anyway, maybe it's two creators. The two creators get together, they do something. Maybe that's it. But it just, I don't know. It just seemed different.
Anything you want to add, Doc, before we do a quick shout-out?
Not really. Not on this topic. I'm still doing my soul searching for this shit, so.
I gotcha. And I think that's okay, too. Like, I don't think there's an age where you can or cannot soul search, if that makes sense. Like, if you end up, like, soul searching when you're 30, 40, 50, that's fine. And especially if you're younger, for the people who date super young, like, I think that's fine. We got to promote, like, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being, there's a lot of hate, I feel like, in the dating world right now. Like, there's just a lot of, maybe hate's not the right word, but just frustration.
But it's crazy. Everybody that's trying to date hate everybody that's trying to date.
Yeah, dude, it's really weird.
So who the fuck y'all gonna date?
Oh man, you just found her on a freaking app.
Ain't nobody for me. Everybody crazy.
Like, oh, dude, you're by yourself. And it's just like everyone's throwing fucking shit in all directions. And
so
just like,
all the same people just are in relationships. That's what it is.
I think all the same people just aren't dealing with it, because, like you said, the people who are dating don't like the people who are dating. So the people who, maybe to keep using the word you use, sane, just aren't doing it. And I don't want to, I do think myself sane, but to use me as example, it might be a bad example, is I deleted all my dating apps. I just found it so toxic. I just I realized that if I'm going to find someone meant for me, it's not on a dating app. She's not at a bar. She's not at a club. More than likely, and I'm not sure about this, I'm still thinking about this, like where potentially I'll find her, but she actually might be at church.
Hey, there you go, man.
She might be at a church, and that comes down to my persuasion with God that I'm working on, and by working with that, he might be like, okay, this is where you got to go to find her. But it's just... What are you saying, Doc?
I was going to poke a joke at that. I was like, I know a bar called church. But...
Hey, me too. It's in Atlanta. It's in downtown.
Oh, yeah. There's actually a bar called church. Damn.
I was just fucking around. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, we've been there. That
That's funny.
bar is awkward.
Yo, thanks for making it to the end. We really appreciate it and hope you all enjoyed the show.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and the notification bell to get notified when we post our clips.
Follow us on Twitter at PodcastFDT. Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are all fake deep thinking. Check us out, please.
FDT. Peace, y'all.
Peace.